So, good evening, students. Now we are moving towards one of the important topic that is the group velocity dispersion in the Boolean division multiplexing. So, if we talk about in the single mode fiber, the intermodal dispersion is absent because of the power of the launched pulse is carried by a single mode. However, the pulse broadening does not vanish altogether due to the chromatic dispersion. A light pulse, although propagating as a fundamental mode, has a number of spectral components of different frequencies, and the group velocity of the fundamental mode varies with frequency. Therefore, the different spectral components in the pulse propagate with slightly different group velocities, resulting in the pulse broadening. This phenomenon is called the group velocity dispersion or the intramodal dispersion. Now the mathematics behind is that the numerical solution of the non-linear Schrodinger equation NLS equation gave rise of the four possible types of pulse evolution that occur in an optical fiber based on the physical length of the fiber under the consideration. The characteristic dispersion length LD and the characteristic non-linearity LNL of the optical fiber is expressed as LD is equal to T naught square divided by mod of beta 2 and LNL is equal to 1 upon gamma p. And depending on the physical length L of the optical fiber under consideration, there are following four cases. The very first case is L is very less than LD and L is very less than LNL. In this case, the chosen length of the optical fiber behaves just like a simple medium to transport the light from the input to the output without any significant modification occurring in the pulse characteristic. Now the second case that is L is very greater than LD and L is very less than L and L. This scenario occurs in the case of a low power, a very narrow optical pulse as the pulse power is low. The non-linear effects are negligible and the resultant modification that occurs to the pulse is the pulse broadening due to dispersion, which has made the situation is also known as the group velocity limited or GVD regime, group velocity dispersion regime. And most often, this is the scenario that takes place in the optical communication. Now, the third case is when the L is very less than LD and L is very greater than LNL. This situation occurs in the case of a sufficiently broad pulse with higher power so that the non-linear effects are significant. In this case, a phenomena known as self-phase modulation is observed due to variation of the refractive index of the material by the pulse shape itself. SPM has been also discussed earlier. This resume is called the linearity limited regime. Now, when L is very greater than LD and L is very greater than LNL, this case arises when the pulse width is very narrow, but there is a high pulse power. In this scenario, both dispersion as well as non-linear effects coexist, and we obtain a very special kind of the pulse propagation known as a solitonic propagation. In order to have the quantitative picture of the occurrence of these cases, let us assign some numerical value to the parameter. Suppose lambda is 1550 nanometer, beta is equal to that in minus 20 picos per second square per kilometer. Now, for non-linearity parameter gamma is given as this. The data rate R is equal to 10 Gbps. This is the pulse wave. and the pulse power is equal to the 3 dBm, approximately 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 watt. The characteristic dispersion length LD and the characteristic non-linearity length NL and L is hence given as the value of LD is equal to 500 km and L and L is equal to 250 km. If we consider a section of the optical fiber length L, we see that the L is very less than LD and the L is very less than LNL, which suggests that it is the first of the four cases. Thus, in this case, the chosen length of the optical fiber behaves just like a medium to transport light and no significant pulse evolution takes place. If we narrow the pulse width, or in other words, increase the data rate or other specifications remaining the same, we would witness a significant amount of dispersion in the pulse. That is, if we increase the data rate, is equal to 40 Gbps, which is in the use of the today's practical system. So the value of LD is looks like a 30 kilometer. So it is down to the previous case. Thus L is equal to 100 kilometer optical fiber. So L is greater than LD and L is very less than LNL. And this is the case for second. So therefore, at 40 Gbps, the 100 kilometer long optical fiber at 1550 nanometer would show significant pulse broadening at the output of the fiber. So if we know the increase the power P naught of the light pulse from 2 milliwatt to 20 milliwatt, then the non-linearity length is given by L and L is near about equal to 25 kilometer. In this case, the 100 kilometer long fiber at 40 Gbps both are dispersive and non-linear effects would show significant pulse evolution along the optical fiber. The above discussion thus provide a quantitative sketch of the scenario of the occurrence of the pulse evolution inside an optical fiber, which essentially depends on the three main quantities: the physical length of the fiber, and the data rate and the power of the pulse. So here we can see the another case, that is, let us here define the one or two parameter. Let us define UZT to be normalized amplitude function, where the variable t is the time measured with reference to the moving frame. The envelope function can be expressed in terms of the normalized amplitude function as shown in below. So Az, comma t is find out using this equation. The space derivative of the envelope function can hence be calculated as delta A upon delta Z. So it is equivalent to this. If we take the a partial differentiator with respect to Z of this equation, we get this equation. This is the non-linear Schrodinger equation for this case, is hence given as the del u divided by del z minus z beta 2 del 2u divided by del t square is equal to minus j e raised to power minus alpha z L and L mod of u square multiplied with u. The expression of the envelope function in terms of the normalized amplitude function omits the loss term for the original NLS, and the resultant equation is one of the shown above. The numerical solution of the NLS is accomplished by split the Fourier step method, which assume only one of the two effects, the dispersive effect and the nonlinear effect, at a time. If we assume the optical power in the pulse to be small, so this portion is equal to 0. So we get the left hand side of this our equation is equal to 0. Since we have the second order derivative in this equation can be easily solved in the Fourier domain. So we can find out that the Fourier domain of the Fourier transform of uz comma t is equal to u arrow z comma w. So minus infinity to infinity, use at t raised to power minus j omega t and multiply with dt. So we get this value of u z comma t. Now therefore, after taking the Fourier transform of the last equation, we see that we get this type of equation. So the above equation can be solved easily as a function of z. So if the function is here, the known at the z is equal to 0, then at any general point z, the solution can be written as using this. The above equation is the solution of the NLS in the absence of non-linear effect of the presence of the dispersive effect only. So the above, so some equation which also get using the previous equations are the to be the specific and also the ease of analysis. Let us assume that the light pulse launched into the optical fiber in the Gaussian nature, and the standard deviation is the T naught. So the value of u0 comma t is given as this. The spectrum of this pulse is given as this. So the beam width of the power of the our pulse is given as this value. To find out the resultant pulse shape of the Gaussian pulse as function of the distance along the optical fiber, the value is shown as this value. So in this case, the solution of the previous equation, the value of A is written as this, the value of B is shown as this. So uz comma t can be calculated as this value. Now here the T1z can be calculated by this equation. So the T1 LD is equal to under root 2 by T naught. The wave function, or we can see the phase function, that is phi, is given by this equation. The presence of two separate terms in the phase function is justified by the presence of two separate complex terms in the expression for uz comma t. So now if we see the pictorial representation of the dispersion, so we can see that we see this dispersion light. This is the loading edge, and this is the original pulse. This is the trailing edge. This is the leading edge, and this is the trailing edge. Now this is the dispersed pulse, that is beta 2 is greater than 0, and here the beta 2 is less than the 0. Now so the dispersive regime is like this. This is the pulse shape, and this is the spectrum, and this is a distance, a value of distance. So here we can see the broadening of the pulse. This pulse is very narrow, very high peak, and the second equation is this, that is z is equal to 2LD. Now this is a very broad spectrum, that z is equal to 4LD. So this is all about the group velocity dispersion. Thank you so much.